To Declutter's Delight tonight. And tonight is Decluttering is what brought me new life. Now I'm going to kind of give you a little bit of my story if any of you are not familiar with it. A lot of my hoarding, decluttering, a lot of my life issues and stuff, a lot of it's rooted in my childhood. I suffer from, I was a sexual slave by my father, and involved religious abuse of sexual, mental, physical, and emotional. And that went on for years. From, I was born, and then from the age of 4 till I was 11. And then I was taken out of the home and put in a foster home. And then I had a great foster mom, and I went on to be law enforcement explorer and went on to become a corrections officer and got a degree and worked there for 16 years and learned a lot of great skills. And I still remember my foster mom so fondly, because the first night I was there, I went and hid under the table, and I didn't even know what getting real food was, because I wouldn't get a lot of food to eat, and I actually had to go out and make money to get my own food. And I didn't even know much about real bed. And when she showed me a bed, I asked her, "Is that mine?" And she said yes. And I asked, "Is there any men going to come over that night?" And she said no. And I didn't feel safe, and she made me feel safe, and I slept there, and she gave me good food, and I started to feel safe. But I had food issues. I wanted to hold on to stuff. I wanted to keep everything, things around me, because, I kept my room neat and everything at that time. But, the things that I got were very precious to me and meant a lot to me. And that kind of went on. And, things I kept accumulating. And as life, moved on, as a corrections officer at age 23, I bought my own home, and I still live here after 30 years. Had, have to admit, 2 bad relationships. The first one, divorced, abusive verbally and a little bit physically. We did just separate our ways and stuff, and it was an easier divorce. But then my second one of 8 years was a divorce from heck. That guy took a contract out on my life and wanted me dead, and now he's gone, put away. And it really set into motion a whole lot of stuff. During that time, my supposed father passed away, and I gained a couple 100 pounds from the 254. I gained about 240 pounds over a couple year period. And then I reached my top weight of 494 pounds, and I stayed there for about 9 years. And I lived in what seemed like a hell. And I accumulated lots of stuff around me. And I lived with a life on a mattress on the floor and looking at a TV. And that was my life all day. And I had a doggie and everything, and got up and fed her and kind of lumped around the room. And, it just, living like that, and then dealing with ex-husbands and trying to deal with all that. And my mind was in such a whirl. I didn't know which way was up, which way was down. I had a good job. I had a good retirement income, and, things were, I had what I needed and everything, but it's like I lost my way along a pathway somewhere. And, the one thing I had was, it was like my life was a mess. It was like somebody, excuse the expression, puked on the floor. And that was my life, a mess, a real big mess. And then I got finally divorced from him, and I had been taking up the weight previous years to that. And then I reached a point, it's been about 4.5 years ago. I lost 250 pounds on my own. Previous to that, I had been given a choice I've either buy a coffin or lose weight, sent to an eating disorder, in and out of those a few times. And, during all this time, I was accumulating stuff. And then my life got better after the divorce. I met a wonderful man, and we're still together nowadays. And it became critical 4.5 years ago. I had to have a gastric bypass to save my life because my diabetes became so bad. I was on 23 medications and 5 shots of insulin a day. And I thought I had a handle on my life, but I didn't. I was going to my 12-step program, and I thought I was doing all the right things, physically, but mentally and spiritually, I was a mess still. And I started working my program harder and working it and sponsoring people and going to lots of meetings and such. But I don't think the space between my 2 ears was right yet. And I kept moving forward with my life. And as, time went on, what was it, last year? It was a really bad year. I had 4 car wrecks, and I was raped in the hospital by a head nurse 4 times, and that put me into a fog. And then the hoarding instinct came out. I had lots of stuff in my house that was packed full from head to ceiling. Then things got really bad. I copied 30,000 pieces of paper, had a room filled with stuff. And let me say, my mom was a hoarder too. And she had a house that was, oh my gosh, nobody let her in for 4 years. And I had gotten the same way she did. And then finally I had a car accident in September of last year, which did a complete switch. I suffered from a disassociation. I didn't have that anymore. My life kind of like went on a steady up climb. I cleaned up my house after 30 years. And my house I love now. It's not perfect, but you know what? I can have people over. I enjoy it. That room that was a mess is now my office. I work there now. Took 100 hours to clean out. I enjoy it now. It's my place of worship in my religion, as some of you may know. And I don't know, things just changed. I changed. I became more self-confident, more self-assured. And I just moved on with my life. And I thought, you know what? I can take my experiences and help others who have hoarding and cluttering and chronic disorganization issues and things that like I've dealt with, and help them so they can help themselves. And, it just, so many of you out there understand exactly how I felt. I felt empty. I felt out of sorts. I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. It just, I was depressed. I didn't think I had any meaning in life, but now I have purpose. I want to read. I am doing something. I even did a whole bunch of work for my business today. I plan things. I have a good day. It's wonderful. I may not get everything done in a day, but shoot, life's a whole lot different than it used to be. I love to read now. I love to learn again. My 18 years of not using computers, I come to you live ever since January. I got back into computers, and shortly after that, I came to you guys on Facebook Live. And oh shoot, it's just been a rocket going back up here with technology, and it's been wonderful. I rather enjoyed it. It's been a lot of catching of my breath, but who would guessed it? Who would have guessed it? But it all comes down to me. Decluttering is what brought me the life I live now. And it's only getting better and better and better. It's not perfect by any means, but I get outside the house. I do stuff. I'm learning to have what it means most in my life. and learning to help others just like myself or other people, and seeing, there's other folks out there, not just hoarders or clutterers or chronic disorganizers, but people who need help too. I write a I am statement every day where I like to help someone, because I figured, giving back to the universe, it means a lot. And it just, I think it's a great thing that when you declutter not only your physical space, but you can also declutter your life at the same time. And Declutter's Delight for Life is much more than just about physical space. It's about mental and spiritual. And that's why, we have, love, compassion, and we have love, compassion, and kindness. And it's about the heart, because that's what we're about. Because it was born out of my spirituality. And that means so much to me, because without that, I wouldn't be coming to you guys. And to me, that's special. When something like a gift like this has been given to me, you hold it in your heart closely. And that's the heart. And to me, that represents a lot to me. In fact, when I was up at my special place, that's where it came from. And so much is tied to my spirituality, and I don't know, I wouldn't be here, because when I had that accident last year, I died that day and had to make a choice between going to a place of love, compassion, kindness, and warmth, and serenity and peace, or coming back to a body wrecked with pain and all sorts of things. And basically, I was dead for 4.5 minutes, but I came back. I had a choice. And also about the issue of bitterness on those who caused the accident. But I think the choice was the love, kindness, and compassion and heart. And thus I came back. It hurt like a Dickens, and I'm still healing from it. And they say can take a year, and I bet your bottom dollar it still does, because I'm still working on it. But I'm still here. I'm still kicking. I'm still healing. I have a lot of life left in me, and I sure won't give up what I have, because I have appreciation for every day and every way I have life. And with that, I wish you a great Declutter's Delight for Life, and may you have blessings of tranquility, peace, love, compassion, and kindness, and may your life be full of blessings. Good night.